We look at learning like a continuum that builds kind of like a ladder. And if you think of academic, social skills at the top of the ladder, well, those rungs underneath are all different kinds of processing or learning skills that support being able to work up there at the top. And so at the very bottom of the ladder, you have what we call core learning skills. And these are the skills that they're the visual and motor skills that allow us to move through space comfortably, to hold a pencil, to move our eyes across the page, to sit in a chair. They're all those skills that develop through movement so that we become comfortable in our own skin and we don't have to put any attention or energy into how we're going to use our bodies. Um, and so that's the core learning level. And if there are challenges down there, then you're going to have kids that they seem like they have ants in their pants. They're looking all over the place. Their handwriting is might be really poor or really hard or um, not spaced well on the page, have trouble just sitting in a chair, organizing their stuff. So a lot of things, sit uh, in that core learning level. And then the next level up on the continuum is what we call processing skills. So auditory and visual processing, not your hearing or your seeing, but how the brain actually perceives and thinks about that information that comes in through the eyes and the ears. And then language processing, processing speed, memory, attention, focus, all of those things sit at that processing skills level. And then a next level up is executive function. So higher level thinking skills that allow us to reason and problem solve and think about different options, and navigate and manage our own attention and behavior. So what happens for our students is when their parents call and they say, my child is really struggling with attention in school, or my child just is struggling to learn to read or isn't comprehending, or whatever the symptom is that they're seeing, we do some assessment to take a look at these underlying skills as well as the academics and just see what is it that's getting in the way, that's keeping this child from working as comfortably and easily as they could at the top. Because if you have some of those underlying skills that are weak or inefficient, it's kind of like having wobbly rungs on your ladder. And so, it just makes everything harder. It's not that they can't do it because, by golly, a lot of them gut it out and really spend hours and hours and sweat blood to do it. But it's so much harder than it needs to be without that solid foundation.